The S&P closed the week strong and semiconductors led the way, while small caps and biotech cooled. The indexes are stretched near the highs, which means this is a time for patience. When markets run a little hot, the best traders step back, let things tighten up, and wait for the next clean entry. Welcome to Market Edge, ahead of the trade. I'm Owen Larson. Each week I walk you through what's really happening, the ETF themes that matter, the trading lesson you can use right now, and a look at the MAXLIST leaders where institutional money shows up first. From Monday's open to Friday's close, the market kept pressing higher. Semiconductors were the clear leaders, with software and communications adding strength. Large cap growth carried the ball. Not every breakout is sticking on the first try, so we'll stay selective and look for setups to tighten before we press. Energy was uneven. Staples stayed weak. Financials chopped, and healthcare still has plenty of overhead supply. Real estate and utilities steadied as yields eased. Gold and silver both continued their strong trends, which tells us those themes remain in play. Small and mid caps trended too, but they are also stretched. The better buys should come on pullbacks closer to the 8 or the 21 day. Net, the trend is up, but a lot of groups are extended heading into Wednesday's Fed meeting. That is where discipline comes in. Now let's go to Pat Walker for the full ETF breakdown.
Like, this is a small base right here. This is a larger base. Here it is on the weekly. Look at the volume that came into it. Another very important point, emission winners, look at both price and volume action. You want to see volume confirming a breakout, a lift, starts to pick up on a pickup in volume and then follows through. So let's get down to it. Here's the gold miners. You can always see the name in the upper left-hand corner on either screen, okay, either chart. What's gold miners doing? Going up. It's been trending nicely. This is the 50-day simple. This is the 21-day exponential moving average and the 8-period exponential moving average. What do you see? Oh, it's just trending nicely. Less. Came out of a simple base here on the weekly, simple base here on the daily also. And what do? This little base on the daily transfers to, I'll show you this just so you know we're all tracking together. Right there. That's it. Just simple bases. And note the trend again up the 80 EMA. That's how money is made. What do? Bought it, letting it work. There you go. Continue onwards. SLV, lifting up nicely. Note the base on the daily. Note the volume pickup on that bar. Right there. Pushing through clean tops. It's trending up. Now, let me point something out here. This is crucial for everybody. Buy close to the pivot. Don't chase it up here. You're chasing price. That can lead to larger losses if it drops. Buy close to the pivot or don't buy at all. What do we look for? Lifting up in price. These are reliable buy signals. Again, I taught this for years in meetups, IBD meetups. Breaking out a good basis with volume. Volume tells us other people see it and they're buying too. There you go. It's extended now, so just be careful with that. But it's been a good trend. ERX is just chopping around. Look, I just showed you two trending nicely. You go, this ain't doing nothing. That's exactly right. Leave it alone for right now until it starts to take out this top. Nothing to do with it. Energy related. There we go. Gold, another gold. This is the gold ETF. You got the gold miners and gold. Same situation. Nice base, and I'll draw this to help you. And again, my background's in education. I taught at a university level in various classes. Simple basis, trending. Let it work. In good shape. We own it. We're letting it work. OIH, kind of chopping around here, but it just can't push away. Has a decent base, but you can see it goes up and fades. Look, right there. It breaks out and fades. Oh, it goes up, then it gaps up and runs up and reverses down again. Not a lot of conviction in people buying it and holding it. So be careful with oil services. That industry group. XME's trending nicely, nothing to do with it, but it does tell you metals and mining have been a good place to be. Good to know. Oh, think about metals and mining. Gosh, what's a metal? Let me think. Oh, yeah, gold is. Silver is. And you've seen what they've done. XLE's chopping around here, but there's really nothing to do with it. It starts to go up and they take it down. And notice it went up on relatively low volume, and then it fell on a pickup in volume. Emission winners, again, we teach combining price and volume action in the chart analysis. It will help you make better investing decisions, more money, and be safer. Regional banking, just basing here. Pretty ugly tail bar here on the daily and on the weekly. Just kind of choppy, not a really clean entry at this point in time. Maybe there will be later this week. KBE, same situation, doing this. XLF, chopping around here, trending, but lots of fits and starts. Be cautious with that. Don't, please, this is very important. Wait for your setup. At Mission Winners, we know what to look for. We know what to do, and we have the patience to wait for it. What you're looking at, folks, could quickly become a video slot machine. Don't let that happen to you. Focus on simplicity. It'll help you. Insurance is picking up. You can see here, oh, it's kind of chopping around. You look at the weekly and go, well, that doesn't look too bad. But note, it runs up and drops. It runs up and drops. And again, and again. So be careful with that. Needs to push through there. Not really clean at this time. XLV, healthcare is just kind of chopping around. But you can see on the weekly, tons of overhead supply, not in a leadership position. Be careful with healthcare. Real estate doesn't look too bad. Look at the base. Nice base there on the weekly. Nice base on the daily. Take out these tops with volume. Could be a potential buy on IYR. Pharmaceuticals, another nice base on the daily and on the weekly. I'll draw the line so you can see what I'm looking at. There you go. There's some tops there, but it does need to push through here with volume. Also note, runs up, tails right off. Runs up, drops right down. Reversal bar down, runs up, gaps right down. What does that tell us? There's sellers there. There's sellers. It's not some deep, dark conspiracy theory. You're just looking at the chart and saying, every time it goes up there, it's met with selling. There we go. So what does that tell us? We got to push through that top, and we need to push through that top with volume. There we go. Continue onwards. And by the way, just to go back to it, that's pharmaceuticals, PPH. Solar runs up, gaps up, and they give it right back. Nothing really to do with it. Just leave it alone at this time. Consumer staples, there's nothing there, folks. I mean, look at the weekly, look at the daily. It's dropping. Below the falling 50-day, leave it alone. Done. I love that. I'm not trying to be cute and fancy when I go fast. I'm just saying, if it ain't there, it ain't there. Move on. Oil and gas has a decent base here. Pretty ugly reversal bar and drops here. It's kind of choppy. Be careful with that. With oil and gas exploration. Materials doesn't look too bad. Look at the weekly chart. Nice long base. And here's the daily. One thing that's interesting. It runs up to the line and drops off. It's the same line, by the way. Right here, this line is the same as that, transposed to different time frame. Runs up, reverses. Runs up and drops. Runs up and drops. Runs up and drops. Runs up and gaps down. And needs to take out that line, that time. And it needs to do with really good volume. There you go on XLE. Continue onward. Sloppy on medicine, leave it alone. Biotechnology is acting okay, but there's no really clean entry. But it's been acting all right. It's been trending. Back here, you could have said I'd pick up some biotechnology or buy the ETF. Little extended now, so be careful with that. No clean entry. Here we go. Utilities, it's chopping around. Nothing really clean there at this point in time. Online retail, I think that's a bad data point. Let me refresh this and see. Hold on just a second. That's a bad, I'll have to double check that and see if that's real or not. Wide swing bar here. No really clean entry on that with retail. Just be a little cautious with retail. Another retail ETF, that one looks much better. That's got a better data point in it. Just trending nicely on RTH. Steel. Has a little small base right across here. And I can show you. Right across there. What catches my eye? Well, there's good volume on that bar. Rallies up on low volume. Starts to fall on a pickup in volume. Steel needs to take out this top with volume. But note on the weekly, you've got some overhead supply in here. Right in here. So be careful with that. Moving on. Software's acting okay. Look, you can say that doesn't look too bad. Look at the weekly. That's a nice long weekly. What catches your eye when you do price and volume analysis? Oh, that baby's picking up. Look at the volume pickup. XSW. It says, oh, you could maybe buy the ETF, but you could also look into some software stocks. See? Software. Find some winners there. Again, we systematize. It works. Oil and gas, stay away. Nothing to do with it. Communications, grinding up, kind of a technology-related sector. It's extended now, but note the base that it had, and it gapped out of it on good volume, and it's trending nicely. You say, well, I missed it. But successful people turn negatives into positives and say, okay, I missed this one, but I know more now, Pat, than I did before. Thanks. There you go. Gapped up on good volume and marched up to the 8 EMA. More than most investors is there. Airlines just shopping around, be a little careful with that. Small caps trending nicely. There's no real clean entry on it, but it is trending up, and it says it's okay to be involved with small cap stocks. U.S. Home Construction, the same situation. Mid cap grinding up. Nice to see trending up. IJH. This is the mid cap. S&P mid cap. Trending up nicely. Now, I'm not saying buy it, but I am saying it is trending up. You could look and see if there's stocks in this group that could be buy candidates coming on a good basis. There we go. Continue with biotech, same situation. Home builders trending up nicely. Good to see. IYT, transportation, ain't much happening there, folks. I'm doing compare and contrast. That's kind of walking up the 21-day moving average, Pat, and the 8-day. Yeah, that ain't doing nothing. Leave it alone. You don't have to overthink it. Focus on what's already looking good. That'll help you. And spiders trending up. There we go. IBD 50 trending up. ITA, let's go back here and make sure we didn't circle through. Continue onwards. PAR, aerospace and defense, doesn't look too bad. Retail doesn't look too bad, but it's a little sloppy. IGV, software technology, needs to form a handle here, okay? Note this bar. This is a great lesson. Look what this does. It gaps up and then reverses and closes down on a pickup in volume. It was met with selling up there. Oh, guess what? It was met with selling right there too, and selling right there too. What is that telling you? There's sellers in this level. You can say, could you be more specific? I'd be glad to. In this range right here, they're sellers. There we go. So be cautious with the group. QQQ's grinding up nicely. NASDAQ 100 says to be involved with NASDAQ 100. Cloud computing's trending okay. IVW, small cap, S&P 500 growth. 500, not small cap. Trending nicely, and it has been trending nicely. Said, hey, it's okay to buy. SSO, trending nicely. Small cap, trending nicely. XLK, technology's okay. NASDAQ 100, QLB's been strong. That's why we're heavy in NASDAQ 100 stocks. SMH, semiconductors, trending up. That's good. By the way, I'm not trying to just push through this. We don't have to overthink it. This is what it is, and we get in line with it. Same thing's true with SOXL. A little choppier, though. Be cautious with that. Check something here. There we go. GDX, we're about done. Silver, look at the gold. Look at the base breakout in gold. And look at that move. Is that a thing of beauty? Nice base here and here. Here it does on the weekly. He says, boy, that does look good. Yeah, we own it. It was working. It was talked about in the videos back then. Silver's another group. Still hanging in good. Like to see that. Energy, a little sloppy.
The indexes are still trending above rising 8 and 21 EMA, with the 50 and 200-day SMA supporting from below. Pullbacks have been bought again and again. That confirms the trend, but chasing into a Fed meeting is not the place to be aggressive. Let's talk about how to trade an extended but trending market into a Fed decision. Start by respecting extension. When price runs well ahead of the 8-day and stalls near prior highs or round numbers, slow down. Trim into strength on extended names and avoid new buys that are far from the moving averages. Let setups tighten. The best leaders often pull back toward a rising 8 or 21 and form a higher low on lighter volume. Tight action just below resistance with a quick reclaim is the kind of entry we want. Wide, loose action is a pass. After a breakout, a first pullback into the prior pivot or toward the 8 or 21 can be perfectly normal. Judge the reaction there. Strong support and tight closes suggest a second try is reasonable. Wide and heavy says stand down. Sequence your levels in the same order every time. Round numbers and prior highs come first, then the 8 exponential, then the 21 exponential, followed by the 50-day and the 200-day. React to the signposts you can see, not to outcomes you imagine. Here is how to put that into practice right now. Scale partials into strength and let the rest of the position work as house money. Use defined risk option structures on pullbacks instead of chasing extended moves. Keep position sizes modest into Wednesday and add only after you see clean follow through, a higher low near the 8 or the 21, and a decisive pushback through the pivot. The bottom line is simple. The trend is strong, but the market is stretched. Patience is a position. Let leaders reset near the 8 or the 21 before pressing harder. Now let's turn to the max list. This is where institutional money shows up first.
Apple, it's kind of chopping around here. Fell on fairly heavy volume, but it did find support on the 21 EMA, the blue moving average. There's no clean entry on it right now, so we just have to wait. But we watch it, and we'll see what happens. Continue onwards. Amazon, clean downward sloping trend line, lifts up on volume, runs up, but then it starts to fall, and note the volume. Both. This will really help you. Combine price and volume action in your analysis. You see this right here? It goes up, but what was it doing when it was going up? Again, price and volume. It was going up, but it was going up. This is $1 million lesson for you folks. It's going up on steadily decreasing volume. It was running out of power. So you had to watch it. And then they finally give up on it, and look at the selling volume that came into it on that bar. I'll make this bigger so you can see it. See what I'm saying? That's combining price and volume. This works, folks. Live off your investing profits. Support a family of 6 and come talk to me. That's what I did for a couple of decades. There we go. Nothing to do with it. Just says be careful with Amazon. Same thing's true with AMZU, direct symbol, Alibaba. Simple base here. Gap up. Look at the volume pickup on that bar, folks. That's institutional buying. They've done their homework. They've done their due diligence, and they bought it. And yeah, we did too. And it's trending nicely. And then notice this. It does it again on a big pickup in volume. Clean that line out of there. Right here. See that? And it's working. It's working great. Where's it going to go? I don't know. But it's trending nicely. Trend up the 8. You could sell a little bit into strength. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't sell all of it. Very important lesson. Limit losses. Don't limit profits. Don't sell all your shares if it's still acting okay. That will help you a lot. Continuing onwards. Baidu, similar, it's kind of the sister stock to Alibaba, and it's acting okay too. Here's Baba again, trending nicely. There's Baidu. Note the simple base on the daily and the weekly. Look at the volume pickup on that bar when it triggered, folks. Right there. I'll show you something. You'll like this. Okay, I can see these tops across here, but it's going to need to take that out with volume, right? Look, gaps up, pushes through. Look at the volume pickup on that bar. Massive. The next bar, gaps down, and then reverses right back again on heavy volume. You think they manipulated that a little bit and stole some stock from people? Yes. Now, important lesson. You never buy a full position at one time. As always, ease into the stocks. That will help you lessen control risk. And another key variable, lesson, ride trends. Trends pay more than all the decisions you'll make. And it's just working. That's good. Continued onwards. Google, long base breakout here on the weekly and here on the weekly. Coincides to these down here on the daily. And note the trend of the 8 EMA. And this was bought and bought. And it's just trending. Where's it going to stop? I don't know. I don't need to know. Price and volume will tell us. There you go. So we're in good shape. Yeah, it's owned. Goldman Sachs, symbol base right here on the daily. And it's owned. And it's working. There we go. Again, I'm not trying to be funny. Where's it going to go? We don't know. We don't need to know. By letting price and volume guide us, it lessens stress. We don't have to figure it out. It will tell us what to do. There we go. We just get in line with it, and we never argue with price. There we go. So we're in good shape. MasterCard, choppy. There's really no entry there at this time. FBL, Meta. This is the ultra shares for Meta. Had a base right here, and it lifted off, and then came right back. This is a big institutional stock. It's a name. If this could lift off of here, I think that could be a potential buy. However, it's going to need good price action backed by volume. Also note, there was a tail bar right here. It breaks out, and look at how it closes right near the lows. What's the saving grace or the blessing on that one? It did it, or positive, I should say, but not a lot of volume. And then the next bar, it runs up and closes near the highs. But then this bar, it drops down on a pickup in volume. What does that tell us on FBL? It needs to push through these tops, and it needs to push through with a good market and good volume. That's a good lesson for everybody. Let's continue onward. Meta. This is one I love. I love this stock too, okay? Here you can, by the way, you see this chart on FBL? Looks like pretty much the same chart. Yeah, it is. It's an extension. FBL is an extension of the Meta chart. So you can, because I ain't got the money to buy $760 stock, but I can sure do a $48 stock. Isn't that neat? And again, it's the same pattern. Look at these price and volume bars or price bars here, and then you go to Meta and go, yeah, it's the same thing. It is. And then it drops hard here, and this one did too. So just want to do that analysis as a service to show you. You can be involved in Meta, or you can be involved in FBL. There they are. And that'll help you. Something to watch going forward is Meta. By the way, here's the weekly. This is what catches my eye. This is important. You can say, it's just kind of chopping around. Look what it did on this bar on the weekly. It gapped down, it fell, and closed in the top third of its range. All right? Not a lot of volume. Then last week, starts to push up on a pickup in volume. Something to watch. What will we need to see? And I'll draw this to help you. Right there. We got some clean tops across here, folks. It needs to take this out, and it needs to take it out with a good market, good price action, and good volume. There you go. Let's move on here. Isn't this fun? Microsoft's just in a downturn. This thing's sloppy. There's really nothing to do with it, folks. For right now, just leave it alone. But I refreshed it, okay, because I was wondering, if I'm playing a game here. What do you see? You see, well, it fell on fairly heavy volume, but it looks like it's starting to turn a corner here, Pat. I agree. That's the daily chart. This is why emission winners, we combine both weekly and daily. I did this at the IBD meetups too. Look at this chart. By the way, the IBD chart books that I used to get, okay, the big ones, weekly charts on the left and daily charts on the right in the chart book. Okay? Called, that was way back, daily graphs. Man, that was a long time. I still have daily graphs chart books in here from the last century. Patterns repeat over and over. Basing right here on the weekly, and note the volume pickup on the weekly bar. Slight volume. We've got some clean tops here. Notice it's rising on pretty much steadily increasing volume. Needs to take out these tops, and it needs to do it with a good market, good price action, and good volume action on Microsoft. There you go. I beat that horse, didn't I? Netflix, nothing to do with it. Leave it alone. Nvidia, starting to pick up, but there's some tail bars here. There's one here. There's another one here. Needs to push through these tops with volume. But there is some distribution on the weekly. Not a really clean chart, so just if you buy it, just be a little cautious. NVDL, same situation. Tesla, well, that's a nice looking base on the weekly. Look at that. Right there. And watch this. Here it is on the daily. And I'll draw this just to help you. What is that, folks? It's just a simple flat base. There ain't nothing fancy about it. You can see it on the daily, and you can see it on the weekly. Pushes through here on the weekly, but here you fine-tune it on the daily. That's where we make our investing decisions. Look at the volume pickup on that bar. Now, I'll make this bigger so you can see this. The volume pickup on this bar. We were buying in here. Kept them going. We bought more. And it's working. It's working. We talk at Mission Winners. I talked about this stock almost every day for a week. That, hey, watch this one, and they all don't do this, please. But golly, it sure is nice when they do. So what are we doing? We've added to it. Now we're just going to let it work. Bought it a couple of times. There you go. Don't chase price, by the way. If you don't own it, folks, please don't chase it up here. That's too risky. You're opening yourself up to larger drawdown. Don't do that to yourself, please. TSLL, same situation. Visa sloppy. There's nothing to do with it. Oracle, I added this one just so people can kind of watch it. It's a big name stock. Gaps up on heavy volume. All right. Right there on earnings. And then it pulls back on less volume. And then it pulls back on steadily decreasing volume. You see that? Price and volume. Bought the tar out of it, falling on steadily decreasing selling volume, right? Could this bounce off here? Yeah, it's something to watch, is Oracle. I'd encourage you to watch that one going forward. What can be a setup? If it takes out today's highs, Friday's highs.
That wraps up today's episode. Click the subscribe button and tap the bell so you'll be notified as soon as new episodes go live. And don't forget to drop your strategy questions in the comments for the September 17th webinar. As always, master your strategy, trust the process, and maintain your edge.
I am here in the middle of nowhere. There is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe. And